I grew up in Delhi. I was born in Delhi. I grew up there. And like Vijay was talking about accidents, I think everything that has happened in my life has been an accident. I think most people will say that. Everything that has happened has been an accident except one thing, which is by the time I was 14 or 15 years old, I knew I'm going to make films. I knew I'm going to direct films. I just didn't know how. But this I was sure. I didn't know theatre at that time. I didn't know of the existence of theatre. I didn't want to be an actor. I just wanted to make films. But then I did college. I did something that was no good. I did BCom Honours for 3 years. And then accidentally I found theatre because when I was 19, my girlfriend had left me. It's not sad, it's okay. So I thought I would join Alliance Française to learn French and find a new girlfriend. So I joined French. And in that place, in Alliance Française, they had a small theatre troupe called Théâtre de Poche. So I went in one evening and I liked what they do. So I joined the theatre troupe. And that became like a drug. It became completely addictive. And it hasn't left me till today. So that was a complete accident which kind of took over my life. But I still wanted to make films and I still didn't know how to do that. And it took me many more years. It took me another 4 or 5 years. When I was 24, I went to Film Institute finally to learn film direction. 3 years there, and then I came to Bombay. I assisted 2 filmmakers, very great filmmakers. Their names are Kumar Shahani and Mani Kaul. Nobody knows of them because the kind of films they made were very abstract. They were really great works of art. They were mostly not released films. They used to come and teach us at FTI, so I knew them from there. And they really are my teachers in every way, in filmmaking and otherwise. So I assisted them for 3 years, and then I had no work. I had no hope of work also, because the kind of films that I wanted to make, nobody else wanted to make them at that time. So I started writing scripts. I started doing odd jobs of writing film reviews and stuff like that. And in '93, I made my first short film called Tarana. It was on Indian classical music. It was produced by Films Division, which makes documentaries. But they made a certain kind of documentaries which would, show pictures and have a commentary, and it was called a documentary. I wanted to do a film on Tarana which was more about the music and its origins, but without information about it. So in any case, we shot that film and we went back to Films Division to show the film, and they said, this is not a film about Tarana at all. We can't let you finish it. So 6 months it just kept hanging there. The chief producer of Films Division changed, another guy came, they opened the files again. It was a whole bureaucratic thing. Those were 2 of my worst years of my life. Then the new chief producer said, okay, we can't let you make this film, we'll show it to a classical musician. I said, please don't do it, because a classical musician will not know anything about cinema, so how can he decide? But they insisted. They said, okay, we know about cinema, we can't understand your film, so who will understand it? So they showed it to one musician, and he rejected it outright. He said, this is not a film about Tarana. A film about Tarana should have this. So he gave his own script, actually. Anyway, that film kept hanging for another 2 years, and finally they just had to close that file, so somebody said, okay, finish it. So we finished it, and then that film got next year it got the National Award for Best Short Film and Best Cinematography. Yeah, so it was a little high for about a week, but I remember my cameraman and we bought laddus, And we went to Films Division and we gave it them, khao salo, khao. So it was a sweet moment of revenge. And then I wrote a film called Private Detective. And there was a television channel which opened for a short while, BITV, Business India Television, and they wanted to make films. So I gave them the script, they liked it, and within 2 months we were shooting it. We just jumped into it. And by the time we finished shooting, after 2 months, the channel had closed. So again, there was no producer, there was no money to finish it. This film had Nasir and Irfan, one of Irfan's first films, and Kashmira Shah and Ali Khan. But we couldn't finish it again for 2 years, and somehow we managed to finish it. And after we finished it, we couldn't release it. So, and I was, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I'll make this film, and then it will release, then I'll make my next film, and somebody will watch it, and your life will take off, really. But it just didn't take off. And then I wrote Mithya in '98. It eventually got made in 2007, but I had written it in '98 with Nasir as the protagonist. Mithya and Raghu Romeo, I wrote these two scripts, and I was meeting producers. Nobody was interested. You must realize it was a different time. There were no multiplexes. So even if you could make a film like Private Detective or Mithya, where would you release it? There was no chance of a release. So luckily then what happened in about 99, 2000 that I got an ad. Just again, another accident. Somebody asked me to be part of an ad. And for 1 day's shoot, I got 50,000 rupees. And that was insane, 50,000 rupees. Because for Private Detective, I worked for 2 years and my salary was 50,000 rupees. And in 1 day, I got 50,000 rupees. And that somehow still hasn't sunk in, But somebody saw that ad and gave me more work. And then, meanwhile, I was continuing theatre. So Nasir had seen me on stage and he recommended me to Meera Nair for Monsoon Wedding. And Farhan had seen that ad and they called me for Dil Chahta Hai. So suddenly I became an actor, quite by default. But the good thing was that finally some money started coming in. And I started saving a little money. I said, okay, I will produce my film if nobody wants to. So in 3 or 4 years, I had about 15 lakhs saved. And I went to NFDC and I said, this is the script, Raghu Romeo. So would you co-produce it with me? They said, okay, we'll put in as much money as you put in. And then I started writing to my friends. I said, okay, I'm making this film. This is the script. This is the idea. I'm putting my money. So contribute if you can. 10,000, 20,000, whatever you can. And I actually managed to raise about 15 lakhs like that. So it was actually the first crowdfunded film in a way, maybe in the world. But that was out of desperation because I just had to make a film at that time. So we made Raghu Romeo in 2003, we shot it. Very small film, made for a budget of 80 lakhs. And again, it didn't get released. But it got selected for Locarno Film Festival, and that was a great high because it's a very special screening. There's a place called Piazza Grande, which is an open-air thing, and there were 9,000 people watching that film. So it was the world premiere of the film, and Saurabh was there with me, and Vijay Raj was there, who had acted into the film. And we were watching the film and people were laughing and clapping and we were saying, wow, we have an international hit on our hands. But of course, nothing happened like that. But great screening that day. And then it got released after a year and it bombed. So I again went into a depression. But somehow that film kind of kick-started my filmmaking career. Somebody saw Raghu Romeo, a gentleman called Sunil Doshi, and he came to me, he said, I have 60 lakhs rupees with me, can you make a film in that much? I said, yes, I can. He said, do you have a script? So I gave him an idea of a film, and that became Mixed Doubles, which we shot in 60 lakhs. And then Mithya happened, and then a freak accident happened, a film called Bheja Fry, which we made in 50 lakhs, became a huge hit. So suddenly producers also sat up and they said, okay, this is a good business model. If a film which is made for 50 lakhs can earn 9 crores, okay, that's 20 times return on investment. So suddenly there was an interest in small independent films, which lasted for 2 or 3 years. And for the first time in my life, I started getting calls from producers, come and make a film for us, which felt very nice. Well, and so on. But then the next film I made was Fatso, which again got stuck for release and released after 3 years. And about 4 years back, I was again looking for producers and feeling frustrated. And I tweeted one day saying that, screw all the producers, I'm going to start a play. And somebody tweeted back to me saying, sir, I'm a big fan of yours, I'll produce your film. So I said, ha 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 ha, you can't talk on Twitter like that. This is my phone number, call me. And this gentleman called me from Nigeria. He said, sir, what is your budget? I said, 4 crores. He said, sir, no problems. मैंने कहा, यार क्यों मजाक कर रहे हो यार, ऐसा मजाक मत करो. पहले पढ़ लो स्क्रिप्ट, उसके बाद बात करते हैं. So I sent him the script and he read it and actually put in the money. And we made Ankhon Dekhi out of that, which released last year. Yeah, all of it. I've seen it on torrent, if you have. Because the sad thing is that people don't want to pay money to watch an Ankhon Dekhi. They will pay money to watch Bajrangi Bhaijan for sure, 300 rupees, but not Ankhon Dekhi. Yeah, so Ankhon Dekhi was made last year, and in the last year and a half, I've written 3 more scripts. And I'm back to the same shit. I'm looking for my next producer. So this hasn't changed, and I don't think it will change. But I'm extremely grateful for what I'm allowed to do, because I feel that I've worked for 25 years now, and I haven't worked a single day. Because whatever I do, whether it's making a film or acting or writing a script or doing a play, it's been a sheer joy. I remember I was walking with Vinay Pathak 2 years back. We had a show of our play in Israel, and we were walking from the hotel to the theater. And I was saying, I mean, can you believe this? Can you believe that we're actually doing it? This is a dream that we didn't even dare dream when we were 20, and now we are actually doing it. We are traveling all over the world with our plays, and people are coming to watch them, and they shower so much love, and we get paid for it. I mean, wow. So yeah, this is where I am, and I've come here to say that if any of you has 5 crores, my script is ready. Thank you. Open to you. If you don't have any questions, you can just say, I like Ankhon Dekhi very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go on, shout. Industry is consumed by? I understood half your question. Can you just, in brief now, repeat this on the mic?
So I'm an aspiring filmmaker too. And the one thing I wanted to ask you is that the industry is being consumed by the distributors, the producers and all. So should for such parallel movies like Ankhon Dekhi and all the Shyam Benegal films to be appreciated by the audience, should the audience need to change as a whole, or should the circuit, the whole community of the process, the model through which the film is made, that has to change?
See, Bollywood is not going to change. I mean, that is for sure. And the audience, to a large extent, is not going to change either, because what we really want to see is our fantasies played out on the big screen. You know, that's what we want. We want very good-looking people on screen making love to each other. You know, that's what we want. But it's a fact. It's a fact. And it's not only here. it's everywhere. American movies are worse than our movies, you know, and they make the same kind of crap. So if you have to do something, you have to completely believe in yourself and believe in your story and your way of expression. It has to be unique. Why would I want to watch your film? I'll watch it only because it's your film and only your film. And I think any work of art will have to have that stamp of individuality. Otherwise, it's a manufactured product which is like everything else, you know. And it only becomes a work of art if I hear your voice in it, if I see you and your experience in it. And through that, a new world can open for me in terms of experience. You'll have to believe in it, you'll have to fight for it. And it's a long fight, it's not something that'll get over in 2 years or one film. Next film again, you'll have to fight for it. And all great filmmakers who have sustained, you know, Coen brothers I like very much, for example, but they are not having an easy life in the US either. It's the same shit, for money, for lack of audience. Who wants to watch a Coen brothers film when you have, you know, Avengers 4 or something, you know? It's the same thing.
Rajat, here, this side. So the question is, now with the change in technology and the ability to use multiple platforms to monetize, like Vijay was talking about moving into content selling through the mobile and all, you know, these are now days where people can just pay on their phone if they want to watch a movie. Won't that be a way for you to reach out to new audiences?
You know, we've been hearing about this for the last 10 years, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Because for 10 years we've been saying now digital platform is coming, new models of revenue are coming, but it hasn't happened. So for example, Ankhon Dekhi was sold for 6 lakhs to Netflix, to iTunes for some little money, and like that. So, okay, 20 lakhs. But what has happened on the other side is that DVD rates have crashed. So what Ankhon Dekhi would have got 4 years back, like 30 lakhs, now we get 10 lakhs. So it's the same. Maybe it'll happen another 10 years, but my fear is that even when it happens, they will still not want to watch Ankhon Dekhi on that. They will still want to watch Sheila Ki Jawani, you know, which is a fact. Because your attention span is only that much. You don't want anything for which you have to think. You want an easy, visually enchanting, seducing thing, you know.
Excuse,
See, there has been, it's a bit of both, but there has been a change, but it's a very slow change. And this change will come only with education, because education is not about learning to add or learning to write. Education means learning to appreciate art and learning to appreciate life, you know. So unless that becomes part of our overall education, but in a country where 70% of kids don't even get primary education, you know, this is hoping for a lot, I think. Maybe it'll happen over the next 50 years, hopefully, but not in the near future, no.
Excuse me.
Sorry, where are you?
I'm right here at the back, second row, right here.
Yeah.
Let's say someone does manage to make an independent film self-funded in India. What is he supposed to do with it after that? Like, what would you suggest? Put it up on YouTube or send it to film festivals, like, after making a film?
After making a feature film?
Maybe a feature film or a short film, independent and self-funded. Let's say he does it completely on his own with his friends. How would you
I think
suggest
Vijay
he
would be in a
showcases
better
his film?
position to tell you that, how to monetize it online. I believe some films have been made, some short films have been made like that and put on YouTube. So what would happen that even if you don't get your money back, at least you'll get a viewership. And I think that's a big deal for a short filmmaker. That's a huge deal. Because otherwise, where would you show a short film? There were no avenues earlier. At least now you have a way to find an audience.
What about the film festival culture in India? Do you think it's, you know, matured enough to help you?
Indian film festivals, unfortunately, have not really taken off because we try and just get films that were shown elsewhere, you know. But our festivals really don't have an identity. IFFI in Goa is not up to the mark. Ocean was very good in Delhi because they had a particular identity and they really you know, it has to be curated well. Somebody has to really work for 8-9 months to seek films from all over the world. We don't do that yet in our festivals.
So you'd suggest in India the best, I mean, way to probably show your film to the world is through online media?
No, but there are film festivals all over the world. So if you make a short film, you should be able to send it to festivals around the world.
Sir, since you have been associated with the FTII, what are you, an off-topic question a bit, what are your views on the recent controversy surrounding the appointment of the director? On a more general note, what do you believe, like, should the government, there's been a perception that the government is interfering in the cultural aspect of us and trying to give the direction to the new generation, new batch of students.
Right.
So what are your views regarding that?
FTI is a great place. It was a great place for me, and I believe it's even now it's a great place. I've been going there for the last 20 years, taking classes and things. I think these 150 students at FTI are really brave people, because they're not fighting for their cause. They're not fighting for their immediate cause, but they're fighting for a larger idea of the institution. When FTI was made in 1965, it was with a vision that a place like that came up. And it has sustained itself for 50 years. And it can't just go like that. So whoever it is, the chairman, the director, they have to have a vision for the place, you know. You can't just put somebody who has no idea how to run that place.
So do you believe that the government is trying to do that?
Well, it looks like that. It's not only FTI, it's...
every place, every cultural institution, they have...
I mean, from censor board of certification.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere. I don't know,
So
maybe...
it shows a general trend.
Maybe there'll be wisdom later, but right now it does look like they're trying to take control. And it's the wrong thing to do. You don't need to take control of these things. These things should be allowed to grow. Otherwise, you're killing them.
Thank you.
Sir,
Kidhar?
I would like to ask, what was your inspiration behind Ankhon Dekhi? It's a very strange movie because...
It's a very strange movie.
Yeah.
Thank you. The inspiration was very simply, it came from my life. In fact, how do you believe anything? You know, if it is not coming out of your experience, how do you believe it? Like Babuji says in Ankhon Dekhi, कि दुनिया गोल है, but मुझे तो सपाट दिख रही है. मुझे कैसे पता गोल है? And how does it matter to me whether the earth is round or flat? Because चाय तो अभी भी पी रहे हैं. So this idea, I think, comes to everybody's head once in a while. What do I believe? What I know to be the truth? Is it the truth or is it only my truth? You know? And how do I arrive at my truth? What happened with me that I was going to work with somebody as a producer, and about 50 people told me, don't work with him, he's very dangerous and he'll drive you mad and don't do this. And then I went and met that man and he was a very nice man. So I said, yaar, ab main kiski baat pe vishwas karu? Because I like him, he's a great guy. So should I listen to everybody else or should I believe my own experience? In that case, it turned out that others were right and I was wrong. But I did go with my experience in that. And then this idea kept going in my head. But I didn't know what to do with it. Because you can have an idea, but a film is not an idea. It has to be something more. And then when I joined it with the joint family theme, then I found the story and I found Bauji's character and it became easy. You know, I'll tell you something. In a way, it really doesn't matter. And that's the honest truth. That when I make a film, maybe there are 5 or 10 people in this world whose love and admiration and appreciation I want. If they like it, I'm done. I'm the happiest person on the earth. Of course, that doesn't mean I don't want other people's appreciation. If 500 million people like it, I'll be very happy. But if nobody else likes it also, I'm all right with that. You know, because that is not my intention. My intention is not to please everybody. My intention is not to make a blockbuster film. Having said that, the love I've got for Ankhon Dekhi is really been tremendous. Even now, 1 year after release, I meet people every day, and somehow it has connected and touched people a lot. And I think Ankhon Dekhi will live for a long time. But that's okay. Even if it didn't live, it would be all right, you know. Because I think the important thing is the joy of this moment, the joy you get from what you're doing. It's not for money, it's not for the awards, it's not for what will happen to posterity, it's not about that. But it's about doing what you believe in. That's the most important thing.
This would be one last question from anyone.
Excuse me, sir. The films made by directors like you are classified as written on the screen as offbeat films. And is there any way that we can draw A-list talent towards movies made by people like you? And you talked about how you like Coen brothers. He's making those two are making a movie called as Hail Caesar, and it releases in 2016, and they're able to draw people like George Clooney and
good question.
like that. Yeah.
That's a big difference there. Because if Woody Allen asked Scarlett Johansson to work for him, she would give her left arm to work for him. You know, I think our, as you call them, A-list actors, though I think the people in Ankhon Dekhi are also A-list, but yeah, our stars are not really interested in cinema of this kind, at least. They're not even interested. I think they don't have aspirations enough as actors, unfortunately, except maybe one Amir Khan or one Ranbir Kapoor. I don't think anybody else looks at themselves as actors. They're not interested. They're interested in living in a larger than life world, in being a star, but not. It's not about acting at all. So I don't think that will happen here. They will not be a part of this film, because it will also endanger their overall image if they were to be seen in a film like this. I would be happy to take questions forever. I mean, we can talk for 2 hours, but I think they are running out of time. So informally, yeah, one last question.
Writing is a very introspective and a torturous process, according to me. How do you deal with writer's block and the whole process of writing?
I love writing, but and this is something that I've taught myself over the last 20 years, because at FTI they didn't really teach us how to write, but I kept writing. I think writing is more about the discipline than anything else. You know, there's a thing about Graham Greene, who's a great writer, that every day he would sit from 9 in the morning till 1 p.m. at his typewriter. And it didn't matter if not a single word came out, but he would still spend those 4 hours at the typewriter. And I think that's very important. So once you get into the discipline of writing, then, and I enjoy writing. So for me, there is no writer's block, there is no day that I can't write. So I write a lot.
One of my questions. In all the three roles of being an actor, director, and writer, which do you receive maximum satisfaction?
She's asking, being a writer, director, or an actor, which gives the maximum satisfaction. For me, it would definitely being a director, because that's what I'd always wanted to do. This has been my dream. It's the most fulfilling. Acting is a great job because it gives you money, and because you have to do nothing. You know, and a lot of my actor friends are very angry with me because I say that. But the fact is that as an actor, you do nothing. You have to look left and sit down and take the check and go home. You know, what a job. Yeah, so, but I enjoy being on the set anyway, so that way it's good. Thank you very much.